out there, the Esoteric Scholar here again, and we're going to do another awesome tarot review. And in these tarot reviews, I typically don't get into the symbolism too much. I just kind of go through the card deck, give you my opinions, because everyone loves my opinions. Yeah. So today we got this one here, the Hermetic Tarot, and it's interesting because I was at the store about 30 minutes from where I'm at, and I was just kind of looking around, and they didn't have a great selection, but they had a pretty cool selection. And I saw this one, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I asked to see it. So they pulled it out, and they had a sample one that you can flip through. And I was talking to her about it, and she's like, so are you familiar with the Hermetic background? And I'm just like, yeah. And she was just like, good, okay. We've had some people complain about this deck. So that struck me as very interesting, because I'm trying to figure out what you can complain about from a tarot deck. Well, apparently people, as fluffy as people can be these days, were upset because of Aleister Crowley's relation to this deck. That's how she put it. She's like, well, it has a relationship to Aleister Crowley. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it's going to be kind of like the Thoth deck, I'm thinking. So I start looking through this, and I just blatantly asked her, I'm like, how does this correlate at all to Aleister Crowley? And what it comes down to is she's like, well, it's based on the Golden Dawn and their references and everything, so right here. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, that is like a third-tier relation. And that was very frustrating. And I'm going to rant about this because I can. And people were upset because this was based on the Golden Dawn. Aleister Crowley was in the Golden Dawn, and then went off to do what Aleister Crowley does best. They were upset because it's a Golden Dawn tarot, does not mention anything about Crowley. They were just upset with the correlation because Crowley was in the Golden Dawn, and they thought this was darker. So let's dig in here and let's see if it actually is darker, because that kind of as people say nowadays, triggered me. And I was just like, okay, come on. You're too soft out there. If you're into magic and you're in that huffy fuffy stuff, you're not into magic. You're into psychology. All right, so let's take a look here. Oh, look, more packaging. Don't worry, I did not have it out. It's pencil. I did not have it out, so I'm not going to ruin these cards by doing that. I know you all are thinking it. All right, I like that. Got of course, the manual that explains the tarot. And it's a black and white deck, which I think is cool, because everything's so fluffy and colory these days. Why not make things simple? And I'm going to contradict myself here in a second about that. Okay, that's cool. I mean, when I said I glanced through them earlier, I mean, I didn't really glance through them. I just kind of shuffled in. But look at that. Look at the details on that. That's so cool. I like it already. So, the Ten of Pentacles. Lord of Wealth. Lord of Wealth. All right, so cool. Ten of Pentacles. Then we have your placeholder image, your front card. The Joker's gone wild. We'll set that to the side. Nine of Pentacles, Lord of Material Gain. I like how it clarifies that a little bit. Like, some tarot decks, you don't really get much symbolism or so much detail out of it, but the symbolism is pretty cool on this one. I mean, look at the Look at the details on all these cards. I mean, there's some pretty cool ones. This isn't my favorite deck so far. I think my last review was probably my favorite deck. That's my 5th deck I own. It's probably my favorite as far as artwork goes. The Thoth deck is my favorite so far as symbolism, but this one is running up with it. Lord of Success Unfulfilled. This would probably be... I'm going to try to adjust this camera, sorry. Alright. Because I want, you guys want to see these things too. I'm trying to get that light out of the way. Welcome to my workspace. Alright. So... Lord of Material Trouble. Interesting. Lord of Earthly Power. Now, I mean, it's really cool because you see all the pentacles and the hexagrams and all these sigils, the Hebrew writings. And I think it's just, you see the swastika here. Don't get offended, people. If you're offended about the swastika and you are in the occult or esoteric, you do not need to be in it. Alright, 3 of Pentacles. That's cool. I love these. The hands, you can see the hands out of the clouds. Growth. Oh, goodness. I'm going to read a deck. I'm going to read from this deck here soon. Harmonis. Jeez, that's cool. I will have to do another video, but I had a Reiki tarot session the other day from a local practitioner, and the 2 of Pentacles came up, and it was a really, really interesting reading, very accurate, and the energy work was awesome. I like it, the interweavingness, the root of the powers of the earth. Oh goodness, man, if you wanted to do a reading, oh, that's cool. If you wanted to do a reading, this is a deck to do a reading with. In my opinion. I would probably, that was pretty vague. I would say if you wanted to do a reading about materialism, the decks, they have, you have your swords, you have your wands, you have your pentacles and your cups, so you have your different elements, you have your different classification, your air, your water, you even have your earthy signs. But this deck, to me, so far, is about material gain, or materialism in the world. I would use this deck if somebody was wanting to know about their business, about their life, how they can improve and make more money, which is what I'm going to use it for personally. Because everything, I might be biased. If I'm biased, let me know, but everything I'm seeing is just striking me as I can tell so much about worldly concerns with this. Oh, look at that. Lord of Victory. Okay, 6 of Wands. Beautiful. Beautiful. What I see from this is you have like a phoenix rising. Victory's hawk, maybe. You have them breaking the host of victory. Kind of like, come dine and feast with me. And this is what you got to be careful with, though, is because while these are cool down here, they can lead to subliminally influencing what you're trying to actually think of. And I'm going through here a little bit fast. I don't want to make a 45-minute video about me just flipping through these. Ooh, this. Okay, right here, this artwork really reminds me of the Golden Dawn and basically a lot of the esoteric occult writings, especially with Mather's time frame, because if you look at the Goetia and how the artistic designs were of the demons, you see that reflected with what he has in his face, in his body, and then the shading. You can definitely see the correlation between the two. So you can tell this was inspired by that. And then it's a Prince of the Chariot of Earth. That's cool. That's a really good one. Yep. So, yep. See, once again, you have, it almost look like multiple arms there. So you can see the subliminal symbolism here. But the shadings, the way they're more like an engraved image instead of a sketched image, definitely correlates with the artwork of the Golden Dawn. And so much symbolism from the Golden Dawn here. We can actually probably do a 10 to 15 minute video on each card. Let me know if you want to do it on each one. I might do that for patrons only. Yeah, so that is really, really cool. Oh, look at that. Okay. So I love cards like these. So this is the universe, right? The great one of the night of time. So this, it correlates to the universe in my mind because you have the vastness of space, and so there's a void of light in much of space, especially when you start learning about astronomy and how things work and everything. Space is ultimately dark. So what I see here is you see a dragon. In my mind, you see a dragon, and it's like the sea of chaos, and then from the sea of chaos arises the universe, the how we perceive it, and the growth, the greatness of it, and it all comes from the thought of man. That's what I see when I see this. So it's very interesting. And if you haven't been noticing, you've been having the Hebrew alphabet up here as well. Ooh, the Last Judgment Spirit. Okay, this artwork was really cool because it correlates to me with some of the 1800s, 1900s. So it's very Golden Dawn-ish of how the spirit rises, how heaven is above you. It's very, very awesome. Once again, consistent Golden Dawn artwork here. Very cool. Lord of the Gates of Matter. We're going to do a video on that. Oh, that is so cool. That is cool. The scorpion. The eagle. The head. That's cool. I gotta tell you guys, this is probably my second favorite deck. I don't know if I even have a favorite deck. Look at that, the Hierophant. That is so cool. Okay, so typically the Hierophant, you have your pillars, and you're supposed to choose the middle path, right? You have the pillar of severity and the pillar of mercy. And look at that. He has the two, like the peace symbol, so like two moving towards the pillar of severity. Oh, that is so cool. I'd have to dig into a little bit more of the symbolism. Look at the details on these cards, though. Let me see if I can get that. Look at that. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Like his hand. The details on these things are just exceptional. I hope you like these videos that I do. Oh, look at that, the Empress. Phoenix Rising. Oh, man. I want to do a reading with these cards. So, if you guys want a reading done, let me know, and I'll do one. If you are a patron member, you can actually do a $45 a month, get 2 readings a month, I believe it is, for that from me. Keep that in mind. Considered to be one of the most important esoteric tarot decks created in the 20th century, the Hermetic Tarot is now back in print in response to considerable demand. Not from the fluffies. Godfrey Dowson's subtle designs emphasize the Golden Dawn's astrological attributes while also integrating angelic, numerical, and Kabbalistic elements. The black and white artwork features intricate detailing that highlights the powerful symbolism in both the minor and major arcana. Yes, it does. I truly enjoy this kit. I hope you guys have enjoyed this as well. And I'm looking forward to you guys becoming patrons so I can do more of this stuff. Shout out to a recent patron that signed up. I appreciate it, and I hope more of you do too. Thank you guys.